guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another Vlogmas video. We are going to do a full face of Colourpop today. I went into Ulta the other day and felt like I was very uninspired by things there. I was kind of like walking through the aisles and I was like, nothing is catching my interest. But then I went over to the more like affordable drugstore side and I saw the Colourpop display and everything just looked so fun. And I realized that I've never really tried much from Colourpop at all. I'm pretty sure the only thing I've tried was the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer that I wear a lot. I really love, like actually really love that product. So I figured I would just pick up a full face of Colourpop and try a wide range of their things. I had a 20% off coupon, I had $30 in points, so I literally paid $17 for a full face of Colourpop. So obviously it's already a really affordable brand, but that just added to like how affordable it was. That's the beauty of Ulta and their points. So I'm excited to try all these things, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first thing I got, since I love the tinted moisturizer, I got the Pretty Fresh Hydrating Foundation. I definitely meant to get this in light 40N because I usually just go for the neutral shade, but I don't know, in between me trying it and then me grabbing the product behind, which is something like I never do, but I grabbed the wrong one. So I got 45W, but it looks like it might actually work. So we're gonna just try that. Thankfully, you know, you can return stuff at Ulta even if you used it or tried it. I don't love doing that because I know that they literally just throw it away. But I figured if this is really wrong, I can't make it work, then that's always an option at least. So this says it has a hyaluronic acid and it has coconut water in it. Hydrating foundation with skin perfecting medium buildable coverage for natural healthy looking skin. Dermatologist tested, oil free, vegan. Says to prep your skin with the primer, which I didn't grab the primer, and then it says to use the Pretty Fresh blending sponge or brush to apply. But I'm gonna try it with both the beauty blender and a brush because that's just usually how I kind of test foundations, to see if both work or if one works better than the other. Because it definitely can like change the finish and change like the coverage you get with the foundation. So it does look like a pretty liquidy foundation. I already got some on the sides from like taking it out, so already making a mess. So I'm just gonna put some on the back of my hand, and first I'm gonna take my wet beauty blender, or I guess this is a Real Techniques sponge, and we're gonna just try it. I just have moisturizer on, my same base that I always have. Okay, definitely has that coverage. Like, wow. Right off the bat, you like saw it, like full-fledged coverage. I mean, I would call that medium to full. That's like, that's what I meant by when I tried the Ilia foundation, and it says like it's, you know, like up to medium coverage, and it seemed very light. I was like, that does not seem like medium. Like, and this on the other hand almost seems like more full than medium. But that, I mean, that was super easy. Okay, it took like 2 seconds to get the coverage and blend out. I would say the color actually is not bad. It's maybe a tinge yellow, a tinge warm, but really not bad. Like, as long as it doesn't like oxidize on me too much, that I think is definitely usable. But look at that coverage. I mean, again, I feel like that's medium to full even. you barely see much of anything through that. Okay, next I'm gonna use a brush on the other side. This is a cosmetics brush. I don't remember the name, but I will have it linked because it's all rubbed off. And then again, I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand and then just use a brush instead. I kind of feel like it's one of those foundations, like you're gonna get the coverage, you know, no matter what you use. Just bringing it down the neck a little bit, just because it is a little bit warm. And I feel like once I would like have a tan, it would totally be fine. Okay, so that was super easy to blend out. Super easy to get that coverage. You get that coverage right off the bat. You don't need to like build it up. It says buildable, so I mean if I added any more and it did build on top of each other, I would have like full-fledged full coverage. I feel like I definitely do not need any more coverage in this, so I feel like it doesn't even really need to say buildable on there. Immediately right when I put that beauty blender up to my face, you saw that coverage go on. It really just is like straight up a medium coverage foundation, almost medium to full, and there's no work involved, there's no building it up or involved or anything. You kind of just like get what you get right off the bat. I feel like the brush versus the beauty blender literally looks exactly the same, because I really do feel like it's one of those foundations that like it has that coverage, and no matter what you use you're getting that coverage. So I don't see a huge difference at all between the two, like not even with the finish, nothing. It's definitely not matte, it's just not overly dewy, but I mean if I turn you do see a little bit of like, you know, sheen. It's just a nice like natural finish. I would say it does look a little makeup-y on the skin, but I also feel like that could just be the fact that it is really like medium coverage or more. So it's that feeling of like a real foundation, but not in like a way where it's making my fine lines worse or like making my pores look bigger, nothing like that. It's just the fact that like it does have a significant amount of coverage, so you do see it on your skin. It does look like makeup, but if you're wanting a full like classic foundation that has that coverage, easy to blend, it's really nice. I have no complaints really. Obviously we'll see how it wears throughout the day, but so far so good. Like I said, I feel like I don't really need much more coverage, but I did grab the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. This one I did get in light 40N, so I got the right one that I was trying to get this time. This says, along wearing full coverage creamy concealer infused with hydrating ingredients for a natural fresh finish. Prep under eyes with favorite eye cream. Well, I'm not doing that, but apply concealer to cover blemishes and even out skin tone. Blend using fingertips, beauty sponge or brush. Dermatologist tested, oil free, gluten free, paraben free, ideal for all skin types. Okay, so this is full coverage. So definitely don't need this really, but we're gonna try it anyway. What the little package looks like. All right, I think I'm just going to, it should be a little bit lighter than this foundation, I think. So I'm just gonna go under the eyes to brighten a little. Oh, it's definitely more pinky. And maybe to like brighten here. And then this applicator, I feel like I don't love. It's like really flimsy. But if the product works, then it's like whatever. Like bends really easily. And one little blemish. Maybe two. Okay, just gonna use my beauty blender. feel like it oxidized quite a bit from when I first applied it. Like, look how different that color is than when I first applied it. It just definitely like changed colors as it sat. I think the color's throwing me off a little. I think I'm happy that I got the warm shade in the foundation because I feel like the neutral is very gray-y. It's like when I first applied it on the skin, it looked very pink. And it kind of like, you know, changed colors a little bit. And now I feel like it looks very gray, like almost muddy-like. And so I'm liking this warmer shade a little bit better on my skin tone. And then wherever I put the concealer, it just looks like more muddy, like a little bit like dirty or something on me. So I don't love the tone of it. I also just don't love like this amount of coverage. I was already looking, like I said, makeup-y, and then adding on that full coverage concealer, I just look very, like, my makeup looks heavy, and it looks pretty bad under the eyes. Like, my creases under my eyes look so pronounced. I don't know if the camera will really pick it up, but like under here just looks super like crepey. It just really made that texture look a lot worse. But I will try it on lighter coverage as I just keep using it and trying it, because it might just be the fact that I have a decent like medium to full coverage foundation with a full coverage concealer, and it might just be like too heavy. So it might be one of those concealers that's good to use on a lighter base, and then you're just adding a full coverage concealer on top for where you need that coverage, because just together I feel very, very heavy and makeup-y. Not my favorite. I'm thinking like the warm tones are almost more neutral and the neutral tones are more cool toned, so that makes me wonder what the cool tone would be. But obviously I'm only using 2 shades of all the foundation and concealers, but just like what I'm kind of gathering, like to me the foundation looks very neutral on me. It's like I said, maybe a little like a tinge yellow compared to like my neck, but yeah. And then that concealer is supposed to be neutral, and I just feel like it's very cool. So that's that. I'm a little nervous about this then, because I feel like I don't need any more like coverage or dryness. I don't feel dry, it's just like around my eyes it looks very dry. So I'm a little nervous about this, but I didn't want to grab another translucent powder because I have a lot of them. I don't use a ton of powder day to day, so even though I'm testing out makeup and buying new makeup, I don't want to buy things that I know I won't use. Like, that's just wasteful. So I grabbed this instead. It's the Pretty Fresh Pressed Face Powder, but it said that you can use it by itself or on top of foundation, so like as a setting powder or just as like a foundation. So I figured since it had that kind of like multi-use, that it would be a little bit more useful to me than just another like translucent powder. So this says creamy pressed powder for an effortless skin-like natural finish. This multitasking face powder easily blends into skin with light buildable coverage, perfect for wearing alone, to set makeup, or for touch-ups throughout the day. Infused with sunflower seed extract and cucumber fruit extract to keep skin hydrated, soft, and healthy looking. For light coverage, use fluffy brush. For more coverage, use pressed powder puff. Again, dermatologist tested, oil-free. I got this in light 6. There were 2 light shades. I think it was like light 6 and light 8 or something like that, or maybe it was 7. But I got the lighter of the 2. It just looked like it was gonna be closer to my skin tone. Also, there is like a little puff that actually comes with it as well. This is what it looks like. It does have a big mirror on it. Ooh. I like this little package. I feel like it looks retro to me. And I like the big mirror. This color I feel like looks very, very similar to my skin tone. So I'm not gonna use the puff because it says that you get higher coverage with that. I don't need any more coverage. So I think I'm just gonna take a nice big fluffy powder brush and just swirl it around in here and just kind of set. Hopefully it'll make me a little less creasy around my eyes. Ooh. So that's the difference. I mean, honestly, it did make my eyes look a little better. Like almost like it filled in my lines. But obviously it's gonna be kind of hard to tell the full effect of this. I'll have to use it alone like it says, but I'm kind of just using it as a setting powder right now. Honestly, the powder made it look a little better on the eyes. It mattified me for sure. Like I feel a lot more matte now, but not bad. I'll definitely try to use it alone and see what it looks like, because then you'll actually see what the powder itself looks like. So I look more matte, but it definitely helped with making the eyes look a little bit better and making my skin look a little bit more like airbrushed too. Okay, and then I got this little cheek palette. It has a highlighter in it, a bronzer in it, and 2 blushes in it. At my store there were 3 options and I just grabbed the middle one. It seemed like the colors that would like match me the best. This doesn't really have any other like directions or anything about it on it. First I'm gonna use the bronzer shade. It's in All the Feels. And try that. I like that it's not crazy pigmented, so you can kind of build it up, but it's not like, you know, one of those that you touch on your skin and you're like, uh-oh, I just applied too much. But it's definitely like a little bit lighter, so you can just apply it right from the pan and not have to worry. Really nice, light and buildable. I like the color. I feel like it's still a good neutral, but a tinge warm. Just like warmed up the face. No complaints, it doesn't seem patchy or anything. I feel like I could just keep adding more if I wanted a more intense look. I feel like this shade, it's Little Bashful, looks really similar to my Behave blush from NARS, I feel like. I'm gonna go with the little bit deeper one. It's called Inner Blush. And pop that on the cheeks. It looks like a really pretty color. I actually really like that color, I feel like. It's pretty, it's like fresh looking. And again, not patchy at all. I feel like blended out really easily. It's not too pigmented where it like blows you away. But a nice little buildable blush. And I'm gonna take the highlighter shade. It's called Camera Shy. Oh, I might have had the blushes wrong because it's actually flipped. Yeah, it's not actually like mirroring it, it's flipped. So I think is what I used was Little Bashful then. And the lighter one is Inner Blush instead. Definitely not really like a blinding highlight at all. Kind of hard to like see until you move your face, but it's still pretty. It's just a little bit more of like that chunkier glitter. Like it actually looks like little glitter chunks versus just like an overall glow, but it's pretty. I would say not my favorite, but I mean, when I'm turning, it does look pretty. It just looks a little bit more like you see those speckles. You know what I mean? But it looks really pretty on the skin. Like when I'm looking in the camera, I'm like, it's a nice little glow. Okay, not bad. I'll have to look at again how much this was. I mean, I think it was like maybe like $14, something like that. So you get nice big pans in there too. I'm gonna fill in the brows with the brow pencil. I have been looking for a newer brow pencil. I'm kind of moving on from my Brow Wiz, trying to use it up. So this one looked very similar. It's very tiny. So really just a brow pencil, but thought I'd try it out. I got it in light brown. There wasn't testers for each shade, so I didn't really know what to go with, but I knew I wasn't auburn. I knew my brows weren't blonde. There was a brunette that seemed more, I think it was more cool. I don't remember if it was very cool or warm, but it was one way, like I thought too much for my brows. So we'll see. I mean, already very like easy to apply. Like the product comes right out. You're not like scraping your brows to get product to come out. Like sometimes brow pencils can be too dry. It's kind of hard to get that color, but so far so good. It's maybe a tinge warm for me. I just feel like lately my Brow Wiz in chocolate is too, like it's almost too brown. And this I feel like is better, but almost the same way that I just feel like these hairs look so cool toned. And like a little bit of that grayer undertone. And then the brow pencil is like more of like a chocolatey brown, but this one's definitely better. Like this one's blending in a lot better, I feel like, with my brow color. So super nice. Okay, I actually really like that. I feel like sometimes I kind of like, okay, a brow pencil is a brow pencil, you know, but that was just super easy to use and not too creamy where I feel like it's gonna rub off throughout the day, but nice and creamy where it's easy to apply and get that color. And I feel like I was able to just add the color where I really needed it, and then it blended into the rest of my brows for a nice natural brow, but nice and like complete brow. They're like filled in exactly where I want them to be. Yeah, super nice. So we'll see how that wears throughout the day. Usually I'd put like a clear brow gel over this, but I again did not need another clear brow gel. A lot of them seem very similar, so I didn't want to go ahead and just get yet another one. So I didn't grab anything else for the brows. I'm like totally transferring gross makeup onto my, like that's actually really bad. I feel like I don't transfer quite this much usually, but ooh. Okay, so the makeup, it definitely transfers. Okay, this is what I'm most excited for. I got two things for the eyes. I know I've heard a lot of things about their palettes, but again, I have so many palettes. I also don't really use powder eyeshadow that much, so I didn't want yet again another palette. Someday I'll try a Colourpop palette, but this time I just got two like single products. So this is the Color Sticks, and I got this one in Charmed Life. It was a really pretty shimmery brown color. And then I got one of their Super Shock shadows. I've heard nothing but good things about these. And I got this in Harmony. And it's like a very true gold. So I thought it was gonna be really pretty. So my plan is to kind of do the darker brown in the crease and then finish off on the lid with the gold. Also, I can tell that these sticks are gonna stay all day because even on the back of my hand, like it didn't come off with water or anything, didn't even like smudge. I had to get like eye makeup remover and like scrub my hand off. So definitely gonna last, but I think I'm just gonna put it in the crease in the outer corner. Hopefully this works. I'm just blending it out with my finger. Adding another layer. Definitely a little lighter than I thought it was gonna be. Like when you're really like rubbing it on there, you get this deeper shade. Blended out, it's a really pretty, just shimmery light brown, but kind of wanted that like deeper color to stick around. Maybe I'll try to just pat it. I just don't want like lines, you know? But I want the color to stay. Trying to blend with my left hand. It seems like it is buildable though. I'm just adding layers. And it does keep getting a little bit darker each time. Okay, that is all blended out. Really pretty color. It's a nice shimmery brown. I was definitely thinking I was gonna get more of this, but since I kind of wanted to blend it into the crease, some of that depth kind of went away, but it still is really, really pretty. I think maybe if I could just like, if you would just use it as like a one and done shadow and apply it all over the lid, and then you wouldn't really have to like blend it out too much. Maybe blend out just like the edge with your finger. Then you'd get more of that like full-on brown shimmer tone, but it's still really pretty. It worked really well to just blend it out into the crease. Yeah, super pretty. Okay, now for the Super Shock shadow. Must have been like a bee collection or something. It has bees all over it and the yellow packaging, but I loved how it was true yellow gold. So, ooh, it's creamy. I'm just going to apply that to the lid with my finger. There was also one that had more of a green undertone to it that I almost got, but I thought this gold was cool. It definitely works the best to like pack your finger up with it and then literally just like tap it. Okay, it's like it's not showing up like as much in the camera as it is in person. It's definitely very yellow. I would almost say more yellow than gold. I'm gonna apply one more layer of the darker one, just because it kind of got covered up a little bit. Okay, so it's really pretty. I don't know if it's showing up as much on the camera, like as true to like color as in person, but it's very like yellowy gold on the lid and then a nice light shimmery brown. These were really pretty like together, like where it crosses over is really pretty. Like I mean they'd even just be pretty like stacked on top of each other, I feel like, on the lid. A nice shimmery, goldy, bronzy look. They dried down, I feel like they feel pretty stuck to your eye and pretty like dry. Not uncomfortable dry, but it is like, you know, they don't really stay tacky on your eye at all. Like, I feel like they're not going anywhere. So one last step with this, I am gonna add it to the lash line. I didn't grab an eyeliner at all, so I'm just gonna use this as an eyeliner. It's also one of those things that I feel like is very similar. Like I want to, you know, try the things that are a little bit more unique to the brand and not just like a basic eyeliner. Like, that's boring to me. So, but then this, I think I'm just gonna let it be and not even blend it. So like kind of a true eyeliner. It has that actual line of liner, and that's really pretty. That would be pretty just as an eyeliner. And because I'm not blending it out, you're getting that true deeper brown that's more like even like a foil shimmer. It looks so much more similar to what I have on my hand and what I swatched in the store than the shade that I put in my crease. But it's nice to know it's super versatile. Like, you don't have to have that super shimmery color. You can really just blend it out and use it as a crease shade, and it's still shimmery, but it's just a lot lighter. And in the crease, it looks a lot more like a powder shadow. But then here you really get that full effect of the like cream and the more very shimmery foil-like shimmer in it. So all the S's with my retainers. Oh, you know what I didn't get? I knew I was forgetting something. I didn't get anything for the lips. Darn it. Well, this is the last thing then. I got the Colourpop Level Up Lengthening Mascara. I almost grabbed the volumizing one because if you watch my videos, you know I like the volumizing mascaras. They only had brown in the volumizing one, which probably would have been fine. I feel like you can't really tell the difference on the lashes, but that kind of just made me rethink it, and I was like, maybe I should just try a lengthening one instead of my typical volumizing one that I always use. So this one's in black. I think they did have a brown in this one as well. They didn't have any testers, so I have no idea what the actual wand looks like. Okay. It's like a tapered wand, but it is those, you know, nice bristles, not the like plastic ones that I don't like. Oh, actually, let me curl my lashes first. Okay. I liked little pinpoint, like the smaller side of the wand to kind of like get way in there. Puts a pretty thick coat on, and it is a little sticky. Like, I feel like if I like one too many swipes and my lashes are gonna be like together. But it's pretty. I don't know if I really got lengthening. I try to like coat the edges of my lashes too. I mean, maybe it did. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the bottom lashes. Yeah, I mean, they look pretty spidery, like pretty long and like bleh. It actually did make them look pretty like intense, and I feel like longer, especially when you look from the side. It's like my lashes look so long. They look kind of like fluttery and long. I think I like it. I mean, it definitely does something. Definitely applied like a nice thick coat onto your lashes. It's doing something. Yeah, I think I like it. I just feel like it was kind of sticky, a little finicky to apply because it's sticky and you're like feeling like you're sticking to your lashes. And I also feel like I said, they could get stuck together really easily. But if you just kind of take your time, I think I like the result. Okay, unfortunately we can't use anything from the lips, but I honestly don't even feel like really that I even saw anything for the lips. Because I looked over the section so many times to make sure I had everything I needed, and I feel like if I would have saw like a big lip section, I definitely would have been like, oh my god, I need something for the lips. So I kind of feel like there wasn't really much there unless I totally didn't see it. But I'm just gonna put a little bit of the lifter gloss on just so my lips aren't bare. And we're just gonna have to try a lip product from Colourpop at a later date. I definitely had a feeling that I was missing something. Like it just was like, I had this in my hand and I was like, this just does not feel like a full face. But I knew that I skipped like a brow gel, an eyeliner, you know, any kind of primer or setting spray or anything. Definitely wanted to try like the core products. But oops. But I really like this look. Like I feel very fall, I feel very winter. I love the shimmer on the eyes. The cheeks and the color of the blush is really pretty. And I kind of just feel like I am going to like a holiday party or something. Like I feel very party-esque. So that is my full face of Colourpop. I would say, to do a little review, the foundation I would say is like a medium to full coverage, and you get that right off the bat. It like packs that coverage, I feel like. I think I would like it by itself versus with another layer of like a full coverage concealer. I feel like the concealer kind of is the thing that kind of ruined the skin, even though it still looks like decent. And it also could just be my preference for a little bit lighter of coverage things, but I also do feel like the skin just looks a little bit more makeup-y than I'm used to, and like you just do detect it on your skin. It's not like a natural look at all, but it does have a natural finish, whereas it's not dewy and it's not matte. It's just kind of like a normal natural finish. But I do like the foundation. I think for a day that I'm wanting more coverage, or maybe going to like a party, like a holiday party, or have an event or something, it's sometimes nice to have that more coverage, that fuller coverage, and just to feel like more done up. So I do like the foundation. Honestly, kind of glad I got the warm. I feel like it's like, for me at least, I thought it was a little bit more neutral versus the neutral shade of the concealer. I thought that was more cool and almost muddy. I just didn't love the shade of that. See what I mean? Look at how gray that looks. Like it literally looks so gray. But I'm definitely gonna try the concealer by itself, or like on top of a lighter coverage base, because it was just too much coverage packed onto each other here. It ended up fine. The result is fine. Like I would not feel like, I don't feel like anything looks, you know, terrible. I would be comfortable going out in this and not be like embarrassed like my skin looks awful or anything. Like it still looks very much beautiful, it's just more heavy. And again, the powder I'm going to use again by itself, but it seemed to be really nice. It kind of helped the situation a little bit. Honestly, the brow pencil is one of my favorites. I think I like the shade and just how easy it was to apply. Like it was just a little bit more creamier than the brow wiz, so I think I like it better than that. And it was just super easy to get that more natural brow. Even though you're filling in sparse areas, it doesn't look super overbearing, and like it just looks very natural. You can barely even detect any kind of makeup in my brows at all. The little bronzer blush palette, super nice to get like 4 different products in one, and honestly they all worked really well. I think my least favorite of the whole palette is the highlighter, just because it's a little bit more chunkier and it doesn't have as much of like a payoff as I feel like other highlighters do, but definitely not bad at all. And then both the like color sticks and the super shock shadows, I would definitely get other shades in those. Super pretty on the eyes. I really am loving the eyes. And I like that you can blend out the color sticks to be a little lighter and less intense, or you can use the full like impact and not blend it out, and you get that really, really shimmery, almost like foil-like payoff. Then the mascara, I did feel like lengthened my lashes. They look nice. They look long and thick. So I'll definitely keep using these products and in different ways. This is just the first impression, so it's not always like the whole story, but I'll definitely keep using them, trying them, and then reporting back. But I feel like that was very successful. And again, for 17 bucks, I mean, even at the price point that they are in general, without using points, without a coupon, very reasonably priced. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped if you were looking at some of these products, trying to decide. Definitely like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel for more videos from me. And I will see you tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Bye!